Welcome back. Happy New Year. Happy 2025 to you all. I hope you all had a lovely festive period and are feeling well refreshed, recharged from some time away from the screens, and are ready to hit 2025 on a strong foot. I myself took some time off over the last couple of weeks. I was away on the holidays, spending some time with some loved ones, but I am ready and raring to go, ready to get back to my desk, get back to the charts, and to continue to take things on with the cryptocurrency markets. It's been pretty tumultuous last couple of weeks in the cryptocurrency industry. However, maybe not necessarily a bad thing. We'll run through today the state of the market, some of my thoughts, what I'm going to be looking out for over the next couple of weeks, and where I think some opportunities might be for us to capitalize on. So if we take a look here at the charts at the price of Bitcoin, you can see that since back here in mid-December, whenever we peaked out around $108,000 a coin, I was actually sitting sunbathing myself in the Canary Islands at this point, watching it happen. It was glorious. However, since that point, that glorious moment, we have seen some significant drop-offs in the cryptocurrency market. We came all the way back down to test this range here around the 92,000 level. You can see that we've held this level of support really well, actually. You can see this used to be previous resistance. It then flipped and turned into support throughout this ascending channel and has continued to be support throughout the last couple of weeks. You can see also that we bounced perfectly around the 50 EMA, the exponential moving average, and it continued to rally up off of it today, with Bitcoin being up just about 3% at the time of recording. So it's been an interesting reset in the market, perhaps because of tax loss harvesting in the States, in America, perhaps because people, institutions were just away from their desks, enjoying some time with their loved ones as well as us. But you can see that since New Year's, since people came back to their desks, particularly today, things have really picked up again. Perhaps some investors taking a look with fresh eyes, fresh perspective, fresh energy at the start of this year, looking for some opportunities, looking to see maybe where they're under positioned with their portfolios and rebalancing. So it's been definitely a strong rally in the market today. If we follow that trend line down there as well, you can see that we really broken down through that trend line, and we're ready to push on higher from here, I think. We had a nice reset as well with the RSI. We came back down to around 42, which is a great reset, back down below the 50 level, and we're now just pushing out over the 50, back into an area of strength and ready to push on from there. You can see that also, along with a reset of the price, a reset with the RSI, we also had a reset on the fear and greed index as well, which is always good. We never want to be too extremely greedy with these markets, so it's good to see the fear and greed index come down. You can see that only yesterday we were down at 66, which is the lowest it's been for quite a while. If we take a look for the last 3 months, you can see, we were trending down quite nicely, down to 64 on New Year's Eve, and interest starting to pick up a little bit now, but good to come down from those highs of the mid 90s back in late November there, and get a reset in the market. So we're not quite into a neutral or a fear area of the fear and greed index, at least according to this chart. Depends on where you find your source of truth. If we look at CoinStats, you'll see that we are actually technically just in an area of fear, and we have for the last couple of days. And scrolling through some crypto Twitter over the last couple of days, I have noticed a lot more fear, a lot more FUD and fear mongering, particularly around the Tether FUD, where a lot of bears on X were speculating that Tether was going to go bust and depeg, with being unlisted from a lot of CEXs, centralized exchanges in the EU. It turned out to not happen, and USDT is still doing fine. So maybe that's compounded with some of the price action that we saw in Bitcoin has just helped us tip down anyway. So whether you want to use this site as your source of truth or CoinStats, you'll see that either way we've trended down into a more healthy level of fear and greed, hopefully giving us a bit more breathing space for the next leg up in the market. On this channel, I love altcoins. Bitcoin is king. However, I do think that in the short term, the most gains, at least from myself and my perspective and for my risk tolerance, can be found in the altcoin market, and that is just my perspective. I would strongly encourage you to do your own research to find things that fit your risk tolerance. Nothing I say is ever financial advice. It's just a bit of information, entertainment for you to go away and to do your own research with. You can see that we are in a very neutral area. We are not currently neither in a Bitcoin season or in an altcoin season, you can see we almost had that fake out back in November with a really strong push in the altcoin market. We've again come back down and reset into a more neutral area, pretty much almost bang on 50. 47 at the minute, looking like we could be continuing this trend back on up again now. And with some strong action in the altcoin market over the last couple of days, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw a little tick up here in the coming days, weeks and months, hopefully for a bit more of a sustained period in altcoin season, like we saw back in 2021, just here where we were in the altcoin season for a few months. That's where we saw the real gains back in 2021. So hopefully more of that to come as we rally back on up again in the not too distant future, if all goes to plan. You can see as well in terms of the Bitcoin price, we are in a pretty healthy area right now. You can see that we are still in the green zone. We're nowhere near the red or the orange, which is maybe whenever you might look to take some profits, or at least I will be anyways. So we can see that we are still in a very comfortable spot. If I reset the axis, if we take a look back to the last halving as well, something I found quite interesting is that after the last halving, you see we spent a little bit of time here in the blue zone, and then once we got through the green zone, we really just ripped through it straight up, no stopping us until we got up here, just crossing into the red zone and no more, as you can see just here. That, if I take a look here at what we've seen since the most recent halving back in April last year, is we've actually followed a very similar trend. You can see that we followed around here in the blue zone for a little bit. We've had a really strong push up into the green zone. If you take a look at the dates just along the bottom bar of the screen as well, you'll notice that this in the green zone was at the tail end of 2020. And we rallied on up from January, basically didn't stop until April. So it's history never repeats, but oftentimes it does rhyme. Could we potentially be seeing a similar pattern playing out just here? You know, spend some time in the lower ranges of the rainbow chart, pushing up strongly into the green at the turn of the new year. Could we potentially be rallying up for here? That would, if we reached this orange and red like sort of crossover area just here, that would put us somewhere, if we follow the trend up to March, April time, somewhere around $247,000 per coin. If we pushed into the red a little bit, that might push us up to somewhere around $250,000 per Bitcoin. So kind of goes in line with what we've sort of been expecting over the last couple of weeks on this channel. Another thing as well that we like to track is the funding rate heat map. So whilst I was away from my desk and wasn't making any YouTube videos over the last couple of weeks, I was still keeping my eye on the market, and I did actually take some long positions myself, some leverage positions on the market. You can see that some people, well, actually most people are not of the same thinking that I'm on. You can see that since we had the real excitement, the real euphoria in the market back about a month ago, where we were really overheated. You can see where we went from this period of normal funding and got quite overheated here with lots of yellow on the chart. We've now had that reset, that hard flush, and we've had a sustained period of normal funding in the market. So again, we've got plenty of breathing space to move up from here. I, again, personally think that this is a good opportunity for me based on my risk tolerance to take out some long positions, and I have done that. So yeah, looking forward to the next couple of weeks just to see what happens with those plays. If we take a look at the social sentiment whenever it comes to a Bitcoin, what I've noticed as well is that we've had a real drop-off of Google searches. You can see that back here from November into December. It's a bit of a fidgety chart, sorry, but you can see that we did have a pretty significant drop-off just there. I know January's only a couple of days old, so hopefully we'll see a bit more of an increase from here, but again, a bit of a reset over the festive period. Nowhere near the highs of 2017 or 2021. Whenever it comes time for peak euphoria in the market, I would expect the social sentiment to be increasing, for more people to be searching for Bitcoin on Google, potentially moving up this way. You can see, yeah, we're still nowhere near these highs. So I would be expecting, especially with just Bitcoin, it's becoming more normal. It's becoming a more normal part of our society. I remember even at my when I was home for Christmas, sitting talking to my auntie about cryptocurrency and about Bitcoin, and yeah, somebody who's never really spoken to me about it before, like actually proactively starting the conversation. It shows me that, you know, people are now starting to take an interest, and it is just part of our day-to-day lives. So yeah, I would expect to be really pushing these peaks whenever it comes time for peak euphoria in the market. On the converse, what I have noticed is that we are really seeing a boom in the search for AI. Again, there has been a bit of a drop off at the start of January. Forgive us, we are only 2 or 3 days into the month, 2 days into the month. So for me, this really screams that AI is such a hot narrative right now. Lots of people are searching it more than ever before. It's playing more of an active role in our lives than ever. I use ChatGPT every single day without fail. So yeah, it shows me that this is really the hot narrative, the hot industry or sector to be in right now in any form of business, never mind cryptocurrency. I think that just the combination of AI and cryptocurrency is so exciting, and I think it's just natural to yeah, sort of focus in on this area and to yeah, really put a lot of emphasis in my portfolio into artificial intelligence in the cryptocurrency industry. And you can see that I'm not the only person that's thinking that. If we take a look at Kaito here, you can see that AI mindshare as of this afternoon was at 60%. Crazy. Again, just goes to show how much of our of our minds that AI is taking up at the moment, particularly in the industry. You can see a few months ago, memes would have been so much higher, if not even more than AI. So it shows how much AI has come on and how great an opportunity this is. I would expect a lot of these as the market progresses over the next couple of months, they will close the gap. I would imagine meme coins might come back again. They had their moment in the spotlight a couple of months ago. They might make a return. I've got some meme coins in my portfolio just to hedge my bets, whilst focusing in on GameFi. So I've got some game coins and more importantly, artificial intelligence. Really starting to hedge the portfolio that way and to shape it towards those opportunities. The way that I do that as well is just coming through into CoinGecko, where you can search for the top artificial intelligence coins by market cap. If somebody's looking for some safer opportunities, and obviously nothing's safe in cryptocurrency, everything can go to zero very quickly, but you can see that some of the top projects are where there might be some opportunities at the safer end of the spectrum. What I prefer to do is actually just to scroll down a little bit and to take a look at some of these projects. So this is how I go about finding my projects that I might want to invest in or seek opportunities in. You can see the price action over the different periods of time and how much volume is transacting over them. So you can see, for example, Fallow Network looks very exciting, up 40% over the last week, and has $226 million in volume over the last 24 hours. It has obviously had that massive spike recently, so this again might not be a good example of a coin to go into. So searching for coins which have perhaps had a decrease over the last 7 days could be a good opportunity to try and find some coins that have had a correction already and could be at good levels for us to buy. And from here you can click in, you can see, do your own research on these coins and see whether it's something that you might be interested in or see if it has a place in your portfolio. And this is how I found some really good plays. I've made some really good money from these opportunities. So yeah, it's one of the ways that I like to do my research for whenever it comes to finding new coins. And again, just focusing in on AI. You can do it with all sorts of different industries. You can see some of the trending ones just here, but for me, AI at the moment, or AI agents in particular, is another one. These are programs which will literally carry out day-to-day tasks for us on the background automatically. I think the future is really in AI agents. So within the AI narrative, I'm really focusing in on the AI agents niche personally. So yeah, this is where I conduct a lot of my research and just following the trends, following the mind share that artificial intelligence is making up right now. This is slightly off topic, but something I do want to start tracking is what the probabilities for the next Fed meeting on the 29th of January will be in terms of the interest rate decision. You can see that currently we are sitting just around the 45 to 450 basis points. And the expectation is that 88% likely to hold that. That was after Chair Jerome Powell came out and gave a bit more of a hawkish stance on the market. That was, I guess, what caused the initial sell-off, the initial fear. Investors were pricing in more rate cuts than were kind of indicated in the most recent Fed meeting. So whilst we did get the last interest rate cut that we were expecting and hoping for, you can see that, with the stance, with the forecast, the projections of less rate cuts than we were initially expecting for 2025, that really took its toll on the cryptocurrency market and the confidence of investors. I don't know if they can. I think that might be just trying to buy some time, buy some breathing space for the Fed, and then they can come in and save the day and maybe make some more cuts. There's a lot of debt that needs to be rolled over and needs to be repriced. They don't want to do that with high interest rates. So I would expect we might see some surprises. So that's why I just want to start tracking it now, tracking the probabilities, tracking what the investor sentiment is, even though it is still a few weeks away. Again, we'll go back to Polymarket just again for that a conference. You can see as well that 92% likely no change for the interest rate, and again trending that way quite strongly. So we'll see what happens at the end of January. No change is not a bad thing now. It's priced into the markets, but it'll be good to see, interesting to see what happens come the end of January. Taking a look back at the portfolio again, then you can see Bitcoin's not moved too much over the course of the video. You can see that we have had a pretty significant drop in Bitcoin dominance, another metric that we like to track. So this is the percentage of the cryptocurrency market cap that Bitcoin takes up. We were in this, just to summarize again, we were in this massive rising wedge for a good 2 years before breaking out of it in Q4 last year. You can see we came back up again to retest these levels over December before having a bit of a drop down. You can see that we have been bouncing around the 50 EMA again, and we are just dropping down off of it again. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Bitcoin dominance. The more this falls, the more likely we are to see an altcoin season and our altcoin bags surging. You can see it's been a pretty good day so far today with my portfolio. The AI agent, one of the AI agent plays up 41% so far. One of my AI and DPIN crossover plays up 22% today, and a few others in and around the 10 to 20% mark. Spectral, neural AI, vertical AI, lots of different ones there doing quite well today. So keeping an eye on it over the next couple of days, weeks, months. Expecting some sort of excitement over the next 3-month period, 3 to 4 months perhaps. So yeah, we'll keep tracking all of our metrics. We'll keep on tabs. We'll keep looking for opportunities and seeing where we can take them. But I hope that's been helpful. If you found this video informative, engaging, please share some engagement with me as well. If you could leave it a like, I would be greatly appreciative of that. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Share with somebody who you want to know about the cryptocurrency markets. You want to make life-changing gains this cycle. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.